The economy in Germany had crashed with the stock market crash in the US, so around the 1920s. The Nazis, or the NSDAP, needed a scapegoat, so they blamed all their problems on Jews, communists, homosexuals, gypsies, and anyone who was different from them.
The Nazis were the leading party in Germany with Hitler as the Führer. The Holocaust started in Germany but spread all over Europe as Germany conquered more countries. At the death camps, the Jews, gypsies, and gays were sent to gas chambers or showers. The gas chambers looked like showers, but instead of pouring water, they spilled poisonous gas that killed the prisoners. At all Nazi camps, the prisoners were fed very little food until the point that they looked like walking skeletons.
Eventually, the Nazis started sending the people who they didn't like to death camps and work camps. At the work camps, the Jews and others were forced to work building things for Germany. Oftentimes, they were worked so hard that they died.
They started instating rules called the Nuremberg Laws that banned Jews from doing certain things, such as going to public places or even owning pets.
After the Allies won the war, the people in the camps were freed from their tormentors. After the war, many of these prisoners spent a long time trying to find family members and friends. There were thousands of homeless people due to the war. As a result of the war, more than 10 million people were killed in the camps, 6 million being Jews alone. To help provide homes for the homeless victims, displaced person camps were built. These camps provided temporary housing for those suffering from the devastation of the war.
So what does this have to do with what's going on today?
Why do we still learn about it?
While most conflicts like the Holocaust are over for humans, the non-human animals are still being tortured by their own cruel dictators. Not all humans take part in the treatment of these animals, but standing by and doing nothing is just like the German citizens during the Holocaust.
The prisoners at the camps were starved. Non-human animals are still being starved today. Look at the resemblance between these two pictures. Do they not look similar? Are these animals not in the same condition that the prisoners were?
Paul McCartney once said, "If slaughterhouses had glass walls, we would all be a vegetarian." The slaughterhouses across the world kill billions of animals every year in the cruelest ways imaginable. These animals don't choose to be there.
They live in long sheds with no electricity, so they have to live in the extreme heat of the summer and the freezing temperatures of the winter, just like the Holocaust victims did. Kept only alive with antibiotics, they are fed as little as possible. They don't even know what life without pain feels like.
Animals on factory farms are branded with burning hot rods. This inflicts a third-degree burn onto their skin. Along with this, many are given tags that are pierced into their ears. Just like the Holocaust victims, they are known as the numbers branded on their skin, not actual living creatures.
Animals of all species are beaten for just being who they are. Cows are beaten because they are cows, just like German Jews were beaten for being Jewish. Imagine all the people. When I was on a trip once, years later in Brazil, my train stopped next to a slaughterhouse. The cattle in the pens, hearing the noise of the train, trotted up to the fence and stared at the train. They were so close to my window, one crowding the other, looking at me through the fence. I thought then, look at this. This reminds me of Poland. That's just how the people looked, trustingly, just before they went into the tins. This was said by Franz Stangl, a former Nazi. If he can pity animals who look just like the Holocaust victims did, what does this show you about the treatment of animals now?
Animals are being used as test subjects in labs as we speak. 17 animals are tested on every minute. The scientists, when trying to learn the effects of a disease, inject the animals with it. Diseases purposefully injected are far worse than it is when naturally caught. Also, non-human animals' bodies react differently to certain diseases, so many of the experiments are a waste anyways. The Nazis also experimented on their prisoners in similar fashions.
These two pictures are of different places. One is Auschwitz and the other is a slaughterhouse. The only way you could tell the difference is because one is labeled as Auschwitz. These places don't look much different on the inside either.
If you don't like seeing pictures of violence towards animals being posted, you need to help stop the violence, not the pictures. Johnny Depp.